Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Lunar, and in this video, I'm going to tell you guys a story about me getting obliterated off of the weed. Now, this story takes place when I was about maybe 13, and one of my cousins from Los Angeles came to visit me. For this story, just, for name's sake, we'll call him Oreo. And Oreo was one funny motherfucker. Like, he would say funny jokes, but, like, his true, like, comedy sense of nature was just out of this world. He say the stupidest shit. He put himself in the dumbest situations. Like, he was different. And at this time, I kind of had a feeling that he'd already been smoking, because he was, he had that stoner little drip. He looked like fucking Shaggy from Scooby Doo. He was like that, right? So when he came over, I kind of told him a little story about my first time, I guess, hitting the pen in school, and I'll save that story for another time. But when I said that, he looked at me with like the most excitement on his face that I've ever seen, and he reached into his pocket and pulled out a stizzy. Now that got me excited because I've never been able to smoke and just chill right after or do something that I wanted to do, because I've only smoked in school or at lunchtime, and I had to go back and go do some bullshit classwork and listen to some fucking idiot try to teach me whatever the fuck English or whatever the fuck it was. So me and Oreo devised this plan of just a night of absolute tomfoolery. And I mean just straight blasphemy, right? So the morning of Saturday, we get ready for the whole night. We go pick up an eighth. I steal a bottle of alcohol from my parents' liquor collection, and we just get ready for a night of just fun. So we wait until everybody falls asleep, and that's when we go outside and we light up the first blunt. Now, I had a very low tolerance, so as soon as I hit it, I just start coughing like a motherfucker. I mean, just crying, snot coming out of my nose. It was just terrible. But flavored wraps were around at this time, so it didn't taste too bad. So as soon as we finished the first blunt, I was just blown out of my mind. I was just gone. Once the blunt gets to the roach part, I just threw it on the floor and I stomped the bitch out like it owed me money. Now, I thought me and Oreo were on the same page because I was just cotton mouth. I was done for. And I look at him and tell me why this motherfucker instantly lights up the next blunt with no downtime. I was shitting my pants at this point. And for some fucking reason, we decided to smoke this next blunt while walking through the cemetery. Now, it was already like 1 a.m., so it was fucking dark. And it was scary as fuck. I can't even lie. I was 13. I was like, why the fuck are we going to the cemetery? I ain't trying to smoke next to these dead bodies. But we do so anyways. He passes me the blunt. I pass it back. We start giggling about some stupid shit. And I hear rustling next to me. And I tell him that I heard something, but he just said, no, I'm high. I'm just tripping. And I was like, okay, I just go with the flow. I hit the blunt again, and I hear the rustling again. And this time I tell him, like, I'm done. I ain't trying to smoke no more. Like, I'm cool off that. So he puts it out to smoke for later. And for some reason, he just started sprinting. Now, I had no idea why the fuck he started sprinting, but I didn't want to stick around to find out. So I started haul-assing. I mean, like Usain Bolt type shit. As soon as we exit the cemetery, he just looks back at me and just starts dying. I mean, like fucking hands on your knees type shit. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he was just telling me that he's fucking with me and that he wanted to see what I do. We start making our way back to my house, and as soon as we get to my room, I open up the bottle of Jack Daniels and we start going swig for swig. This has nothing to do with the story, but I just had to say Jack Daniels tastes fucking disgusting. As soon as we get to like maybe halfway through the bottle, he looks at me and he just pulls out the stizzy from his pocket very slow, like he was a fucking magician about to show me a trick. So we go and sit on my bed and we start taking rips from this pen, and man, this shit got me even higher than before. I mean, bro, I was reaching new fucking limits. So we decided to watch this show called Black Mirror, and we choose one of the last episodes, which that episode was just straight fuckery. To give you guys a little context, we were watching this episode, right? And about halfway in, we were still swigging the bottle, right? So I was taking one, he was taking one, until we get to this point of the episode where the two main characters, which by the way are two big brolic black dudes, just start having gay sex. I mean, like, raw. We both look at each other and just start dying. He looked at me, he backed up a little bit and said, you better not think of no gay shit. And I just lost it. Then about 5 seconds later, I hear this knock on my door and my heart just drops where my balls were. And Oreo, like the dumbass he is, opens the door, and thankfully it was just my older sister asking for some help to move her guinea pigs that were in my garage to her car because she was leaving. Me and Oreo make our way to the garage and we see these guinea pigs, and I just start laughing even harder. Now my sister looks at me and she knew I was high. I reeked of alcohol. My eyes were bloodshot, but she didn't care. She just told me to be safe and not to get caught. She walks back inside the house and starts packing her other clothes or some shit. And me and Oreo start lifting up this cage that the guinea pigs were in. Now the walls of this cage were made out of metal, so in my head, the floor had to be made out of a hard material. Oreo gets on one side of the cage, I get on the other, and we start lifting it. But to our surprise, the floor of this cage is made out of plastic. So once we start lifting, that shit starts caving in, and the guinea pigs fucking just go on top of each other and start going ape shit. I mean, just straight. And I lost it even more, bro. And I fucking dropped my end of the cage. Now, Oreo was still holding his end of the cage up. So the shit just turns into a slope. And I just see one of the guinea pigs just start tumbling down at an extreme speed and hits his head on a plastic house. Oreo puts down his end of the cage slowly, and we just look at each other because we realize this guinea pig is not fucking moving. I slowly look up to see Oreo's face, and I could just see he's scared shitless. So I tell him we gotta hurry up, get this cage inside of the car, tell my sister goodbye, and act like nothing happened. We start lifting the cage, and chaos unfolds again. These guinea pigs are just pissing and shitting, and the guinea pig still isn't moving. It's just laying in the piss and shit. We start making our way to the back of her car, and we just fucking shove the cage into the car, like no regards for the guinea pigs. As soon as we get the cage in there, I make sure it's secure so it's not moving. And we close the door, say goodbye to my sister, and go back to my room. As soon as I close the door, I look at Oreo, and without a second wasted, he just looks at me and tells me the guinea pig had it coming. I didn't know what to say. I was just at a loss for words. But that ends the night right there. We didn't do much after that. We just continued watching the show, and we played some games until I just knocked out. A week passes by, and I overhear my sister on FaceTime with my mom, and she's telling her that she had to sell the guinea pigs because of some reason. So I have no clue if that pig survived or not. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Subscribe, like, leave a comment about what you think. Was it fucked up that we did that to the pig? I don't know, but be on the lookout for more videos. I'll see you guys later.